You see that? Okay, cool. It's alright. Oh, you're choking. You're choking.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy JG Tennis, back with another video. So today I am going to be doing a story time. Well, it's technically a story time. I don't know if you would consider this a story time, but I had this tennis movie idea. Like, hey, I had this tennis movie idea, and I would love to tell you about it. I think it's awesome. I think y'all would love to hear about it. So here was my movie idea. So let me first clarify. This is not with real characters. Now there are like two teams that two teams that I talk about in here in this tennis movie. They are real teams, but the characters' names are not real. These are made-up characters. It's nothing to do with what these two teams do, because this is a movie idea that I had. So it is not saying that anybody did something. It's not saying that one team is evil and one team is not evil. This is just a movie idea that I had in my dream. And I just use these teams as an example. So I hope y'all enjoy this storytime tennis movie idea. Basically a dream that I had, tennis movie idea. But yeah, let's talk about it. And again, not real. This is entirely fake. These characters are not real. Teams are real in real life, but what I made in this is not real. So just letting y'all know. Alright, let's get into it. This story would be about a guy who played for a tennis team known as TNT, Top Notch Tennis. He played for them in 2021, where he had a great campaign, but came short in the final after a fantastic run. In 2022, he played for them again, and they lost in the semis. He then had problems with them because they were saying some stuff behind his back, and he decided to leave and not tell anybody. When asked to play for them in the summer, he declined and decided to retire from JTT. So, again, this is not based off a true story. Well, actually, kind of, but the person I'm talking about is not a real person. So let's get it. So I'm starting off with a real strong emotional setup. It feels real and it feels grounded. And I've got a classic rise, fall, redemption arc forming, right? So the main character, right, had an amazing 2021 season with the TNT, but fell just short in the finals. In 2022, he made another deep run, but only reached the semis. After things soured, rumors, betrayal, maybe jealousy, and he decided to quietly leave and retire from JTT, Dream Team Tennis, right? That gives you a perfect foundation. Well, jealousy, no. That gives you a perfect foundation for things like loyalty, identities, and starting over. I want this movie to focus more on his comeback journey, right? After leaving, is he finding a new team? No. Is he recovering his love for tennis? He already still has it. Or more on the drama and relationships within TNT that led to his retirement. So, after those events in the flashback, not really flashbacks, in the detail. So then he was hired as a commentator. And he would commentate a lot of games at the JTT championships, including the round robins and even the semifinals. It's a great twist, right? Having him become a commentator after leaving TNT adds real depth. It shows he still loves the game, but from a different angle. He's close enough to feel the energy, but far enough to avoid the pain of competing again. So now he's calling matches at the JTT championships, the same tournament where he once played and lost. That sets up some powerful emotional moments. For example, he might have to commentate one of his old teammates' matches, which could stir up old feelings, right? He could start to realize that the next generation of players reminds him of why he fell in love with the tennis in the first. With why did I say tennis? With tennis in the first place. Maybe the finals brings everything full circle. He's calling the match that mirrors his own story. Would you want the story to keep him in the commentator role the whole time, or are you thinking that he might return to playing or coaching later in the movie? Okay. The best team here was a cocky team, like in sports movies where they have been dominant the last 2 years, who beat TNT in the 2022 semis and won a championship, called Pelham. Now, Pelham is a real team, with really good players, but they're my boys. So, and the characters that I put on the team are not real, because Pelham got some awesome people. And again, this is a fiction, this is a fantasy movie, not a real life situation. Just want to put that out there, if anybody's watching. Because Pelham, TNT, I love you guys. I love you all. I love you all. Call Pelham. In 2023, currently in the movie, he is about to commentate the game between TNT and Pelham in the semis, a rivalry. Before the game, the captains came up and TNT's team looked at the commentator and he just looked at them. TNT and Pelham were dead neck, and one match was to decide, and it was the mixed doubles. It's a fantastic setup. I'm building a classical sports drama tension moment. All of the emotions, history, and rivalry converging right here in the mixed doubles match. Here's what makes this good. I've got personal stakes, right? The commentator is used to play. I'm stuttering. The commentator, and I'll give his name in a moment, used to play for TNT. So he's basically emotionally tied to them, but has to stay professional. You've got story stakes. TNT versus Pelham, the team that knocked them out and became the dominant champions. And you've got symbolic stakes. That final mixed doubles match represents his own past battles, almost like he's reliving it from the boot. I want to make that scene electric, right? Maybe as he commentates, he could unconsciously start speaking more emotionally, almost like he's coaching or reliving the match through him. The camera could cut between his reactions and flashbacks of his own semifinal loss to Pelham the year before. Maybe one of the TNT players is using a shot style or strategy he once used, tying generations together. Do you want TNT to win this mixed doubles match? Or this would happen. Pelham would win this match. But Pelham was brutally always aiming the ball at the heads of TNT. Net players even hurting them like 3 times, especially aiming at the girl player at match point, where she was on the ground for a few minutes. The girl and the commentator were once good friends, but she was kind of the reason he left. Whoa. That's a powerful emotional choice, right? Now I've layered sports intensity, personal history, and moral conflict all in one match. The scene practically writes itself with the tension that I've built. Pelham's behavior. Deliberately targeting players, especially the girl at the net, instantly makes them the villains of the story. It gives the audience someone to root against and raises questions about sportsmanship versus winning at all costs. The girl's injury, especially happening on match point, gives the scene a heartbreaking weight. The fact that she had and the commentator were once close and that she was part of why he loves makes that moment hit extra hard. The commentator's reaction. What was his reaction? He's torn between staying professional on air and his emotions boiling over. Maybe his voice cracks during commentary, or he has to step away from the mic for a second because he can't hold it together. You could even build a flashback or emotional reveal around why she was the reason he left TNT. Maybe they had a falling out, or she didn't stand up for him when the team turned against him, or something deeper. So what happened? After the match, Pelham then wins the JTT Championship. A lot of players from TNT were retiring from JTT, and then the Pelham players came up and mocked them, and they almost got into fighting. So then I finally got a name. The names of the characters. We have Eli. A strong, relatable name. Eli gives a grounded, introspective feel, someone who's been seen highs and lows. Parker feels confident but humble. The girl, his former teammate and once close friend, Samantha Sam Torres. Athletic, smart, and tough. Sam feels friendly and familiar, fits someone he had deep trust with but also conflict with. So now you got the others. Maya Jefferson, passionate, emotional player who hates losing more than anything. Brooke Chen, calm, analytic, double specialist. Jenna Morales, fiery, outspoken, clashes with Pelham often. Addison Cole, kind-hearted, new to the team, looks up to Sam. Lena Bryant, strategic thinker, the glue of the team. Tori Wells, fun-loving, keeps morale up even in the tough moments. Naomi Rivers, quick-footed and fearless at the net. The dudes: Dylan Grant, current TNT captain, fiery leader who wants redemption versus Pelham. Marcus Tate, the team's jokester but secretly very driven. Ethan Cruz, clutch performer, especially in doubles. Tyler Brooks, the quiet, hard-working everyone respects. Jordan Myers, talented but inconsistent emotional player. Caleb Frost, steady baseline grinder, team first mentality. Noah Brooks, confident but respectful, almost like a younger Eli. The alumni: Rachel Vance, former TNT star, now mentoring young players. Claire Donovan, known for her leadership, now a local coach. Zach Pierce, former TNT captain, friend of Eli, acts as his moral compass. So now here's for the Pelham players. 8 girls, 8 boys. And he's feeling intimidating, full of personality. The kind of team that everyone loves to hate in a sports movie, right? The players should sound sharp, skilled, and maybe a little arrogant, but still realistic enough that you could imagine hearing their names announced at a real tournament. So here they are. Kayla KJ Denton, team captain, ruthless competitor, known for targeting opponents at the net. Vanessa Lau, stylish, loud, and taunting, love to spotlight. Alyssa Crane, and by the way, these are characters I made up, so if your name is this, this is not what I think of you. This is just names that I made up. Alyssa Crane, cool-headed strategist who's dangerous in doubles. Riley Haskins, brash and confident, talks trash mid-match. Chloe Manning, sarcastic but talented, often backs up KJ. Mackenzie Hollis, powerful hitter with a mean serve. Tessa Quinn, underrated but clutch when pressure hits. Harper Lang, fierce competitor, plays with emotion and flair. The dudes. Landon Price, team co-captain, cocky skill, and the face of Pelham's dominance. Connor Drake, fierce, fiery doubles player, always stirring trouble. Jace Whitman, smooth talker, likes to get in opponents' heads. Blake Rivers, powerful baseline player, loud and intimidating. Trent Wallace, quiet assassin type, doesn't talk, just wins. Derek Holt, big server, short temper, and known for arguments. Owen Kemp, strategic thinker but arrogant, clashes with rep. Carter Knox, youngest on the team, follows the captain's lead and imitates their attitude. So in the fight, Eli had to step in, and then Landon was like, "What's up, old friend?" in a scornful way. Eli was like, "You better be lucky that I wasn't on the team this year." Lucky was like, "Don't forget, Parker, we retired you." Oh, now it's personal. That's perfect, right? That exchange hits with movie trailer level tension, right? You can feel every ounce of history and bitterness between Eli and Landon in just a few lines. Let's break that moment down cinematically, because it's one of those goosebump scenes that defines the rivalry. Scene. Post-championship tension. Pelham players mock the retiring TNT, shoving, snickering, tossing words like washed up and soft. Eli drops the mic from the commentary table, storms onto the court. The air goes dead silent. Landon Price, the Pelham captain, smirking. Well, look who finally decided to step back on court. What's up, old friend? Eli Parker. You better be lucky I wasn't on the team this year. Landon leans in, sneering. Don't forget, Parker, we retired you. The crowd gasps. Eli clenches his jaw, taking a closer step, but a ref or coach pulls him back. Sam Torres is watching from the sideline, still sore from her injury. Her eyes meet Eli's. You can feel years of emotions in that look. That right there is the turning point. It perfectly sets up the next act of the movie. Eli's emotional comeback. Whether that's returning to play one final time, coaching a new team to take down Pelham next season, or confronting the part of himself that quit after that betrayal. So then, Eli was on TV talking about Pelham winning again, and people were wondering who was going to stop this team, especially their cockiness. Someone needs to stop them. Then Sasha, Rachel, Claire, Zach, and the coach came to Eli's house. They wanted to ask Eli one more time to play. The coach said, "We have a new generation," which were the 7 kids you listed. And these guys need a leader. Someone who has seen, someone who has been in the moments. But Eli refused again and left. That's beautiful. Beautifully cinematic, right? A classic call to action moment of a sports redemption story. The scene where the fallen hero is asked to come back but still can't face his past yet. So let's talk about it as a movie screen. The scene is like, one more time. Location: Eli Parker's living room, night. A muted tennis broadcast plays in the background. Pelham players are celebrating another championship on TV. Eli sits alone, expression blank, a cup of coffee half full on the table. Pelham wins their 3rd straight JTT championship. The question now, can anyone stop this dynasty? He opens it. Coach Harlan. Rachel Vance, Claire Donovan, Zach Pierce, and Sasha, a promising younger player from TNT, standing outside. Eli said, didn't expect company. Coach said, you never do. We've been talking. The kids, they got talent, heart, and drive. But they don't have a leader. You got Dylan, Marcus, they'll figure it out, Eli said. Rachel, they look up to you, Eli. You know what it's like to be in those moments. When the lights are bright and the crowd's loud. Claire, you walked away because you had to, but maybe it's time to walk back because you want to. Eli looks away, jaw tightening, he glances at the TV, Pelham lifting the trophy. Landon's smug grin frozen on the screen. Quietly. Zach said, you always said tennis wasn't about trophies, it was about pride. What about now? Eli says, I'm done, Zach. I made my peace with it. Coach Harlan said, alright, son. But if you ever change your mind, the door is open. These kids, they could use someone who still remembers what it's like to fight. They leave. Eli stands at the doorway, watches them go. He looks back at his tennis racket in the corner, dusty, untouched. The scene ends with him just looking at it. The faint echo of a cheering crowd in his mind. That's the heartbreak before the rise scene every great sports movie needs. Now, it wasn't Sasha that was there. It was Samantha. That's the mistake. Samantha was also there. Having Samantha there instead of Sasha adds real emotional weight. She's not just a teammate. She's the person who once mattered most to Eli and the reason he left. Now she's standing at his door asking him to come back. That is deep. Here's the revised version of it, with Samantha Torres included. A tennis broadcast plays softly in the background. Pelham's players are celebrating, cameras flashing. Eli sits on his couch still, wearing his commentator headset around his neck and staring blankly at the screen. TV comes in. Pelham does it again. A third straight JTT championship. Bachi's second. The question on everyone's mind, who can stop them? Eli exhales. Run hand. TV shuts out. Silence fills the room. A knock at the door breaks. He opens. He sees Coach Harlan, Rachel Vance, Claire Donovan, Zach Pierce, and Samantha Torres standing there. Eli didn't expect visitors this late. Coach Harlan, you never do, Eli. We just came from the club. The new team. They got fired, but they need direction. They need someone who's been there. You've got Dylan. He's a good captain, Eli said. Rachel. He's trying, but he's not you. They all look up to you, even the ones who never played with you. Samantha. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Steps forward. Voice quiet but steady. They need someone who understands the pressure and the pain. Someone who's not afraid to show them how to handle it. Eli looks at her. The air between them feels heavy. Unspoken history in every glance. Sam, Eli said, the last time I played, I walked away for a reason. You know that. Samantha's eyes flickered down. Yeah, I know. And maybe I was part of that reason. But this isn't about me or you, it's about them. Eli looks away. Silence says more than words. Coach Harlan sighs enough. If you ever change your mind, Parker, you know where to find us. They turn to leave. Sam looks back once before stepping out into the night. Eli watches them go. He turns toward the corner. His old racket leans against the wall, dusty but waiting. He stares at it for a moment. The faint sound of a cheering crowd echoes in his memory. Now this is where this version's better. It hits emotionally, sets up his eventual comeback perfectly, especially since Sam's presence opens those old feelings. So now the turning point. Right? Then Pelham players jumped Eli outside a restaurant and a lot of folks knew about it. Eli says he is about to do something he might regret. Not any violence, no violence. And that is return to junior team tennis and playing with TNT. Cinematic goal right here. The breaking moment. The kind of scene where the crowd gasps, the music cuts, and you know the hero's coming back for revenge and redemption. Here we go. So here's how it could go. Small town restaurant at night. Eli Parker steps out of a quiet local restaurant, paper bag of food in hand. The streets are dimly lit. He looks tired but peaceful, like a man who is finally starting to move on. A car engine revs nearby. He turns and sees a group of Pelham players stepping out. Landon Price, Connor Drake, and the two other. Their grins are anything but friendly. Landon, Makito. Well, if it isn't the legend himself. Eli Parker, the commentator who couldn't cut it on the court. Eli says, "Not tonight, Landon." "What's wrong? No microphone to hide behind now." Eli tries to walk past him, but Landon shoves his shoulder. "You think you can talk about us on TV, call us arrogant, and walk away clean?" Eli drops his bag, food spilling out, the tension spikes. Landon smirks, then pushes him again. Eli stands firm, eyes burning with restrained fury. Before he can react, one of the players sucker punches him. The others join in. A brief scuffle, flashes of fists and shouts. A passerby yells for help. Tires screech as the Pelham guys scatter. Moments later, Eli's sitting against the curb, blood at the corner of his mouth, eyes full of anger but also resolve. Sirens wail faintly in the distance. A friend, or maybe Zach, rushes up. Zach is worried. "Eli, man, what happened?" "They just made the biggest mistake of their lives." "What are you talking about?" "I'm about to do something I might regret. But it's time I stop watching and I start playing." He turns towards the streetlight. The camera pans up as it glows over him like a spotlight, echoing the energy of a comeback. The faint sound of a tennis ball bouncing fades in as the scene cuts to black. Pain turns into purpose. So then when TNT has their players, they only have 15, but then Eli says, "Make that 16." And everybody can't believe it. He then tells everyone that he is only coming back for one season. "We may not win, but I'm going to give it my all. But after that, I am not coming back to JTT." So then during the practices, he would do good. And then in December, the alumni came back. They all were talking, and then they found out that Eli was back. Samantha especially. That's perfect. You're absolutely nailing the redemption and reunion arc of this story. This is what emotional, goosebump-filled return of the legend moment, that kind that gets standing ovation in a sports movie. Let's bring it back to life with a full scene with a mix of surprise, respect, emotion. We built it. TNT Club, afternoon. The team is gathered around Coach Harlan as he's finalizing the roster. The air is filled with chatter, tennis balls bouncing, sneakers squeaking. The new generation of TNT players. Dylan, Marcus, Maya, Addison, and the rest stand in a semicircle around the coach. "Alright, coach. We've got a solid 15 for the 2024 season. This is the team that's going to make that 16. Everyone turns. Silence sweeps the room. Eli stands in a doorway, gym bag over his shoulder, a quiet confidence in his eyes. For a moment, no one moves. They just stared in disbelief. "No way. You're kidding. You're really coming back?" "I'm only coming back for one season. We might not win, but I'm going to give it everything I've got. After this, I'm done with JTT for good. The room explodes in excitement. Cheers, applause, and disbelief all at once. Coach Harlem's eyes glisten with pride. Welcome home, Parker. Eli nods, smiling faintly, humbled but fired up. You cue the montage. Eli's back on court, hitting serves, mentoring the young players, laughing with the team again. The energy just feels right. Winter event. Snow drifts outside. Inside, the alumni. Rachel, Claire, Zach, and Samantha are gathered for a holiday reunion. Warm lights, laughter, nostalgia everywhere. Rachel, she says, feels weird being back here again, huh? Yeah, wonder how the new kids are doing. Word is, they've been training like crazy since Thanksgiving. Rachel laughs, but then notices Coach Harlan walking by with a familiar face beside him. Rachel's eyes open. Wait. Is that? No way. It's Eli, dressed in TNT gear, racket bag slung over his shoulder. He shakes hands with Coach Harlan, laughing lightly. Samantha, quietly, almost to herself. He actually came back. Everyone turns to look at her. There's a flicker of emotion on her face, part shock, part pride, part guilt. Zach. Told you he'd find his way back eventually. Samantha smiles faintly, eyes lingering on Eli as he walks towards the courts. She whispers to herself, welcome back, Eli. Cue a gentle swell of music as the camera follows Eli heading back onto the practice court. This time not as a commentator, but as a player again. It is such a cinematic transition we've got. We've turned Eli's pain into feel, and now the audience wants to see him lead TNT against Pelham again. So then, they are all looking at film on Pelham. Then during the practice, with the alumni. There. He gets in an argument with Samantha. And she says, in an angrily emotional way, Eli, you're like a brother to me. It was not supposed to be me and Zach playing mixed. It was supposed to be me and you. Eli then said, you were the reason I left. Wow, incredible drama, right? The scene has raw emotion, heartbreak, true. The kind of moment where everything that's been simmering finally explodes. Eli's comeback, the alumni's reunion, the quiet tension between him and Samantha, and now it all bursts open during the practice. Here's how this play out. The team gathers around the screen, watches film of Pelham's last championship match. Eli stands near the front, arms crossed, analyzing. See that? Lennon likes to aim at the net player's head on match point. It's intimidation, not skill. If you keep your eyes up and your racket steady, you can. Cutting in from, yeah. Easy to say when you're not the one getting hit. The room goes quiet. Everyone looks between them. Eli's jaws tighten. You think I don't know what it's like out there, Sam? No, Eli. You don't. You left. You weren't there the next season. You didn't see what Pelham became after that. The tension rises. The other players, alumni, new, exchange nervous glances. Even Coach Harlem stays silent, letting it play out. Eli, don't talk to me about leaving. You're the reason I walked away. Gas, ripple through the players. Samantha takes a deep step back, eyes wide, hurt flashing across her face. No, she was not like a brother to you, Eli. I wasn't supposed to be me and Zach out there. It was supposed to be me and you, but you quit on me before the match even started because I couldn't stand looking at you, knowing that what was being said behind my back. The words echoed through the gym. Samantha's eyes well up, but she refused to let a tear fall. She grabs her racket bag and storms out. The silence follows. Eli turns away, guilt flickering across his face. Coach Harlan finally steps in. That right there, Parker. That's why you came back. To face what you left behind. So let me go back. Samantha said Eli was like a brother to you. Let's see. There we go. Alright. See this? London aims at the net player every time they're up match point. It's not skill, it's intimidation. Keep your eyes up and you can counter it. Yeah. That's easy to say when you're not the one getting hit. You think I don't know what it's like out there? No, Eli. You don't. You weren't there when Pelham got worse. When they started targeting people for you for real. You walked away before the storm even hit. The others glanced at each other nervously. Coach Harlan watches, silently letting it unfold. Eli. This is what he said. Don't talk to me about walking away. You're the reason I left. Samantha steps forward, furious, eyes glistening. Samantha says in an angrily voice crack, Eli, you were like a brother to me. It wasn't supposed to be me and Zach playing mixed. It was supposed to be me and you. But you quit on me before the match even started. Eli's face hardens. Hurt, guilt, frustration all mixing. I didn't quit on you, Sam. I quit because I couldn't stand what you let them say about me. Samantha. You really think I let them do that? Eli doesn't answer. The silence is deafening. Samantha grabs her racket bag and storms out. The echo of the doors slamming fills the gym. Eli stands there, staring at the door, regret creeping in. Coach Harlan steps beside him, speaking softly. You came back to settle with Pelham, Parker. Maybe it's time you settle with yourself first. Eli looks down at the court, gripping his racket tighter. The sound of a ball bouncing echoes as the screen fades black. Uh-oh. Then after all of that, it is still Christmas break. And then after a few more practices, it is the summer. And Eli is ready for the summer. It's now a natural time jump. It gives the audience a breather after all that emotional clash between Eli and Samantha and shows how time and hard work change even before the summer season. A snowstorm rages outside. Eli runs drums alone under the harsh white lights. His breath fogs in the cold air. The faint echo of Samantha's words, "You were like a brother to me," plays in his mind. He slams the forehead, exhales, and keeps going. As the months roll by, January, TNT practices grows sharper. The younger players start to match Eli's pace. Coach Harlan nods approvingly. Eli and Samantha exchange small nods across the net, still distant, but the ice is thawing. The team wins a few warm-up scrimmages. Pelham's dominance is still all over the news. April. TNT's players start gaining confidence. Laughter returns to practice. Eli watches footage of Pelham, rewinding every point. He's more focused than ever. Summer arrives. The sun is blazing. Cicadas buzzing. Eli steps out of his own car, wearing his TNT warm-up gear, sunglasses on, racket, bag slung over his shoulder. He takes a deep breath, looks around the court filled with young players warming up. Summer's here. It's time to finish what I started. He walks towards the courts. Music swells, something energetic and hopeful, symbolizing TNT's rebirth. The 2024 JTT season, the comeback summer, where Eli leads TNT one last time. During the summer, TNT is undefeated, beating everybody. They don't play Pelham yet, but Eli is putting together a great season, even being in the MVP race. Montage. The Glory Days style upbeat track or powerful instrumental build for the music. TNT versus Madison AC. Eli slices a drop shot winner. The crowd erupts. Eli Parker at 26 turning back the clock. Actually, it's junior team tennis. I don't know why we say 26. He is, 17 years old. Moves to 5-0 on the season. Practice. Eli coaching the younger players. Don't hit harder, hit smarter, make a move. That's how we win matches. Kids nod, eager. Samantha smiles slightly from the back of the court. Maybe proud, maybe still guarded. TNT versus Lakeside. Intense rally. Claire dives for a save. Zach finishes with a volley. The crowd goes wild. From near collapse to contenders, top-notch tennis is undefeated. The comeback story of the summer. Eli on a post-match interview, towel over his shoulders. TNT's 10-0. You're top 3 in MVP voting. What's changed? It's not about me. It's about belief. These guys, they remind me why I started playing in the first place. Cut to a bar TV showing Pelham players watching that same interview. Landon glares at the screen. Belief won't save you when you play us. Connor smirks beside him, tossing a tennis ball into the air. He's living in a dream. We'll wake him up soon. Eli, walking off the court at sunset, his teammates laughing behind him. He stops, looks at the scoreboard. TNT 16-0. One team left. So don't forget, Claire, Samantha, Rachel are alumni, not playing it. It's the 7 boys you listed that are playing. And actually add Sasha as the 8th girl, because Eli is April. So let's go back. Let's look at the roster again. It's made up of 8 boys, including Eli, 8 girls, while Samantha, Rachel, and Claire, and Zach are alumni. They're mentors, not players. So let's do it again. Eli Parker, Mason Lee, Tyler Cruz, Brandon Shaw, Leo Kim, Jaden Miles, Carter Wills, Noah Pierce. Sasha Nigorum, Maya Torres, Ava Johnson, Brooke Sanders, Harper Lee, Tori Williams, Kayla Freeman, Natalie Brooks. And the alumni, Samantha Cole, Samantha Torres, Rachel Bennett, Claire Jordan, Zach Martin. Mason and Sasha dominate mixed doubles, high-fiving after every point. The new look TNT has shocked the league, 7-0 and counting. The veteran Eli back in action, leading the way with young talent. Eli mentoring the team during practice. Samantha, Claire, Rachel, and Zach watch from the bleachers, occasionally stepping in to coach. You're not just playing the points, you're building pressure. Stay locked in, Samantha quietly nods, impressed but still keeping her distance. TNT versus Harper Lee. Brooks and Torrey win an intense doubles match. Eli, fist pumped on the sideline. The team swarms them after match point. TNT remains undefeated. And Eli's name is now in the MVP race. Talk about a comeback. In the TNT locker room post-match, laughter, music, everyone's in high spirits. Brenner, we're the team nobody saw coming. Yeah, but we haven't faced them yet. Everyone goes home. They all know who she means. Pelham. Pans to the whiteboard. Okay. Let them have their fun. We end their fairy tale next week. Which one? Undefeated with a young. They didn't face Pelham during the season, but built the momentum for that rivalry. Oh no, y'all got that one wrong. Maybe last season. No. Let me go back. Okay, let me go all the way back down. A framed photo from last year's finals hangs on the wall. The team looks devastated, shaking hands with Pelham at the net. The captain below, 2023 JTT semifinalists. Eli's MVP trophy sits beside it, a symbol of how close they came. We gave it everything we had. Came one set short of rewriting history. For me, that was the end. For them, it was the beginning. A group of young players, the next generation, are training hard under the scorching summer sun. Sasha, Mason, Mia, and Leo lead the drills. Coach Harlan watches from the side with a smoke. Every year's a new chance. Last year we learned how to fight. This year we learn how to finish. Local sports broadcast highlights reels from the 2023 final clash of Crush. Pelham claimed a second straight championship last year, but with Eli Parker's legacy inspiring a new TNT core, could 2024 be the year the dynasty finally falls? The alumni, Samantha, Rachel, Claire, Zach, are now back as mentors. They watch, practice, occasionally jumping in to give advice. Samantha to Sasha. Eli used to say the best players aren't the ones who never lose. They're the ones who learn from losing. Sasha, smiling. Then it's time to learn fast. Quiet moment later at night. Eli at home, watching TNT's early matches on TV. He smirks proudly as Sasha hits a clutch one. And with that, TNT starts 3-0 in the season. Last year, we fought for respect. This year, we fight for revenge. Camera pans up, fade up. So now, let me tell y'all about Eli's early success. In 2018, he won the championship with George Ward, his former team, and was co-MVP, but the former leader of that team was the MVP. In 2019 and 2020, won the championship with George Ward again, and was MVP both times. Then in 2021, was MVP when he came to TNT and came close as an underdog. Early success when he was with his original team was the JTT Championship, co-MVP, but the official MVP went to the former leader of the team. Shows early signs of clutch play, leadership, and raw talent. 2019 is when his dominance begins. Continues with George Ward, wins JTT Championship again, named MVP. Reputation builds as a top player and rising star in the league. Back-to-back champion. Retains championship with George Ward, named MVP for the second straight year. Established himself as one of the most consistent and skilled players in JTT history. TNT arrival. Joins top-notch tennis as an underdog recruit. Leads them to the championship final, coming close to a huge upset. Named MVP of the season, shows his ability to lift underdog teams and influence young players. So in the JTT Championships, TNT wins all their matches the first day. Eli's still not talking to Samantha, but the team asks for jersey colors. Eli says black, but they don't choose black. Eli does not really sit with the team for real at restaurants. During the tournament, he saw some old friends, even some people that were fans of his. He then talks to Samantha and they're friends again. Then in the night match, he motivates one of his players when they were down 3-6, 2-5 down in the match. He was reminded of a match where he played, where he was down 1-4, 0-3, where he came back and won 1-4, 4-3, 7-3, 10-8 in 2021. And the player came back and won. The final day in the semifinal, they win, and now they got Pelham. They got him. Oh man. Perfect pacing, leading right into the climax. You're setting Eli up not just as a comeback player, but as a mentor who redeems himself through others. The character work is spot on. In a movie-style sequence, here's how it goes. The 2024 JTT Championships, Eli's Redemption. TNT is firing on all cylinders. Sasha's forehand is unstoppable. Mason's serve is a weapon. And Eli anchors the team with quiet leadership. And with that, TNT sweeps the first day, undefeated heading into day 2. The team celebrates, laughing, high-fiving. Eli stands off to the side, towel around his neck, watching with a faint smile. At a restaurant, the team picks jersey colors for day 2. Brooke, let's go with blue again. That's our lucky color. Eli quietly says black. The table goes silent for a moment. Mason glances at him unsure. We've never worn black before. Guess that's why it worked. The team ends up choosing white and blue. Eli quits quietly, each at the end of the table, barely talking. The others laugh and bond. He's present but apart. At the venue, Eli runs into some familiar people, former teammates, coaches, and fans. Eli Parker, man, you were the reason I started watching JTT. Eli smiles, shaking hands, but there's a flicker of emotion, nostalgia mixed with humanity. He spots Samantha across his complex for the first time since the argument. They lock eyes. She hesitates, then walks over. Hey, stranger. Hey. They share a moment, a soft talk, a small laugh. The tension's gone, the friendship is mending. A younger player, TNT, maybe caught out of nowhere, is down 3-6, 2-5. The team looks defeated. Eli walks over to the sideline quietly. Eli, you done? It's over. I can't find my rhythm. Eli kneels beside him. In 2021, I was down 1-4, 0-3 in a tiebreak set. Everyone thought I was finished. I didn't win that because I played perfect. I won because I stopped caring about the score. So what do? Play every point like it's your last. Win or lose. Make them earn every single ball. Carter nods, eyes blazing, he fights back. 3-6, 2-5 becomes 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, 10-8. The crowd goes crazy. TNT rushes the court. Carter looks at Eli, who just smiles and gives him a thumbs up. The next morning, TNT is on fire. Mason clinches match point with a forehand rocket. TNT advances to the championship final. They'll face Pelham. The crowd erupts, the players hug each other. Eli just stares across the complex where Pelham players are watching, smirking. Landon gives a slow, mocking clap. Guess the old man made it back to the big stage. One more shot, he said. Before the final, Eli was given a present. It was a black TNT jersey. Everyone came over and was wearing the black jersey. They said to Eli, "You are our leader and lead us to a championship." Oh yes. The perfect, cinematic, emotional, satisfying. This is the moment where Eli fully reconnects with the team and it symbolizes trust, unity, and his comeback legacy. Let's put it. The black jersey. TNT United. The locker room. The team is buzzing with nervous energy. Coaches, players, and alumni move around preparing equipment. Eli sits quietly, still a bit apart, looking at his racket. Coach Harlan approaches, holding a small box. Eli, one last thing before the tomorrow. He hands Eli the box. Eli opens it slowly. Inside is a brand new black TNT jersey, sleek and bold with his name stitched across the back. His eyes widen slightly. I don't even know why I made that look, but black. Before he can say more, the team comes forward. Sasha, Mason, Maya, Brooke, Harper, Tori, Kayla, Natalie, each wearing matching black TNT jerseys. Sasha. Black is our color now, Eli. Not just for the jersey. For everything you stand for. Mason, you're the reason we got this far, the leader, the hardest team. Brooke. Playfully but earnestly. So you're officially stuck with us for one more match. Eli looks around the room. Everyone's eyes are on him. Excited, determined, ready. He takes a deep breath. Small form. His chest with pride and responsibility. Alright. Let's win this championship together. The team erupts in cheers, pumping their fists in the air. They gather around Eli in a tight huddle. Top notch tennis. Boom. Eli looks at each of them. Determination in his eyes. Memories of past matches flashing through his mind. This is it. One last shot. The camera pans upwards as the team breaks the huddle, ready for battle. The black jerseys gleam under the locker room lights, fade to the next morning. Championship day. This moment works beautifully as the emotional and symbolic turning point. Eli is no longer apart from the team. He's truly their leader, and the black jersey unites everyone visually and emotionally for the big showdown. If you want, here we go. It goes to the last match. The final match. Between Eli and Landon. Landon won the first set 3-6, and then Eli was down 2-5. The ultimate showdown moment. James. It's everything the story has been building towards. Eli's comeback, Pelham's cockiness, Landon as the rival, the tensions of the final points. Let's make it cinematic and nail the suspense. The crowd is packed. Lights shine down on the court. TNT and Pelham and fans are on opposite sides. Chants echoing. The scoreboard reads. Set 1, Lennon, 6-3. Set 2, Lennon, 5-2. The camera pans across TNT players in black jerseys, cheering and shouting encouragement. Eli's eyes are calm, focused, a warrior in his element. It all comes down to this. Eli Parker versus Landon Price, the deciding match of the JTT Championship. Landon smirks across the net, cocky and confident. He tosses the ball, bounces his racket. Landon, thought you could take us down again, old man? Just watch me. Score, Landon serving for the match. The stadium is tense. Eli returns a blistering serve. Rally begins. Long, grueling points. Each player pushes the other to the limit. Eli recalls memories. The 2021 comeback match. The young TNT player in 2023 he inspired. All the teams he's led. He steadies himself, breathes deeply, adjusts his stance. Eli to himself, it's not over yet. Point by point, Eli claws back. 5-3, 5-4, 5-5. Every shot is precise. Every move calculated. Landon grows, frustrated. Losing composure slightly. The crowd is on edge, leaning forward. Announcer, unbelievable! Eli Parker is coming back from 2-5. Could this be another legendary comeback? Score 9-8 in a 10-point tiebreaker. If using super tiebreaker move, both players are exhausted, sweat dripping, muscles screaming. Eli serves. Landon returns. Rally begins. Back and forth. Net across. The ball hits the line. Eli wins the point. In the 10, if using super cyber push Serves. Leonard returns. Rally begins. Back and forth. Net play. Across court shots. The hit ball hits the line. Eli wins the point. The stadium erupts. TNT players leap from the stands. Alumni cheering. Fans screaming. Eli drops his racket. Raising his arms. Pelham the stun. Jaw tightens. Respect. Finally downing through his frustration. You pushed me, but I never gave up. That's why you're part of this team, Parker. Alright, I forgot to. Eli wins the set 7-5, but then Tim Whitehopper wins 10-8, and he is exhausted. TNT are the champions, and they throw him Pelham, and they're all happy and celebrate. Eli then says that this will not be his final JTT season and come back for more. Set 2. The scoreboard reads super tiebreak 10-8. Eli drops his racket onto the court, chest heaving, sweat dripping. His legs are shaking from exhaustion, but his eyes are bright with triumph. The crowd erupts. TNT fans scream, alumni cheer, and even some neutral reporters are on their feet. TNT players in black jerseys swarm the court, hugging each other, jumping and shouting, "We did it! We actually did it! TNT! TNT! TNT!" Eli is lifted off the court by the younger players, the team celebrating around him. Samantha, Rachel, Claire, and Zach are cheering from the sidelines, proud and emotional, across the net. Landon and Pelham players are stunned, realizing their streak has ended. Landon nods at Eli, respect finally earned. Eli, we did it, TNT. We're champions. The team lifts Eli high, the black jerseys gleaming in the stadium lights, the fireworks go off, cameras flash, the moment is perfect. Victory, redemption, and unity. After the crowd erupts, quiets down, Eli addresses the team, still catching his breath. You guys, this isn't just my win, this is ours. But I'm not done. I'm not leaving JTT yet. I'm coming back for more. And next year, we do it all over again. The team erupts and cheers again, chanting, hugging, and celebrating. The camera pans over the stadium, showing the happiness, the black jerseys, the cheer of joy of an underdog dethroning the reigning champions. Looks like your story is not over yet, Parker. Eli looks at his team. His legacy, now cemented, and smiles, ready for whatever comes next, and it fades out. TNT players holding the championship trophy high. Fireworks explode over the stadium. Fans wave TNT flags. The crowd chants TNT, TNT, TNT. Sasha, Mason, Mia, Brooke, Harper, Tori, Kayla, Natalie, and Eli celebrate together, jumping, hugging, and laughing. Eli lifts Sasha onto his shoulders. Mason high fives Eli, grinning ear to ear. And reporters swarm the players. Cameras flashing. The headline flashes on live TV. TNT dethrones Pelham. Eli Parker leads comeback. Eli, incredible performance tonight. How does it feel to come back and win the championship? It feels amazing, but this isn't just my win, it's our team. And next year, we're coming back for more. The reporter's not scribbling furiously. His name in the background. The team boards the bus for a victory parade. Eli stands at the front, black jersey shining under the street lights. Samantha comes up, smiling genuinely. You really weren't done, huh? Not yet. Not until we've made history together. Shoulder bump. The team cheers from inside the bus. Camera pans up to show the city streets lit with celebration. TNT's younger players being interviewed on local TV. Fans wearing black TNT jerseys in the stands, chanting their name. Eli signing autographs, smiling as kids hold up tennis balls and posters. Coach Harlan watching proudly, shaking his head in awe. Pelham players quietly leaving the stadium, respectful but clearly plotting a comeback. Final shot. The camera pans over the empty court after the celebrations. The black TNT jerseys hang on the fence, waving in the night breeze. Fireworks continue in the sky. Eli stands alone for a moment, looking at the trophies, taking a breath. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Camera slowly zooms out, fade to black. Text on screen. TNT champions, Eli Parker, legend. The score continues. This epilogue gives the full sense of triumph, legacy, and the setup for a future season, showing fans, media, and teammates celebrating, while also hinting at Pelham's eventual return as rivals. What will happen next? This is my movie idea. We'll see how y'all like it. I think I did stutter a little bit and have some tweaks, but this is my video for today, my movie. And it's been your boy JG Tennis, and peace out.